Every footy fan should be feeling optimistic as we head into 2023, whether your club is a contender, trying to rise up the ladder, or you're looking forward to the youngsters as your club undertakes a rebuild. We're all feeling good going into the new year, but just how many clubs can I see winning the 2023 AFL Grand Final? Let's have a chat for the first time in 2023. And here we are. Welcome to 2023, a new year for Daz Talks Footy. And let me tell you, it's going to be the best year yet. I can't wait for it. But let's get into it. So we've got the tiers here. We've got the no chances. We've got the teams that I think their ceiling is finals. Winning a final, maybe, maybe not. But I don't think they're really going to contend. There are some teams here that I can conclusively say are going to finish in a prelim final or 12th on the ladder. And I can't really figure them out. So they're going to be my middle tier. I've got teams that I think can win the flag, but there is still one big question hanging over their head. And I've got the teams that are in it to win it. So the ones that I believe are contenders as we sit here at the start of 2023. So let's get into it. I'm just going to fill these up as we go. They're going to be in alphabetical order here. So they're not rankings, is basically what I'm trying to say here. But let's get into the no chances, and we'll start here alphabetically with the Crows. They're not winning the flag, guys. It's as simple as that. They're just not. I'll skip a few teams here. The Giants, they're also no chance to win the flag this year. Adam Kingsley, they've got to play the kids more. You know, it is what it is, basically, at the Giants. I think they're going to be fun to watch on occasion. I think it's going to be pretty inconsistent, but there are going to be some games where they just get blown out. I do like their backline. I really do. Sam Taylor's an absolute star. Isaac Cummings, a very, very good player. But I think, a guy like Lockie Ash really needs to stand up and continue what he's doing. What's Lockie Whitfield doing? And we know everything else. It sucks, but my Hawks are no chance. Not this year. Not this year. I don't think we're going to finish bottom of the ladder. And it's getting really frustrating hearing Hawthorn fans say that we are, because we're not. We're just not, I promise you. We're not finishing bottom of the ladder. You can't tell me that the Hawks are going to win 6 less games by getting rid of 2 guys who weren't really playing midfield last year with an extra match. Come on. It's not happening. North are no chance. Kaiko needs to figure out. This is going to be a bit like Hawthorn 2005, I think. Kaiko needs to figure out who's good and who's not. For him. Not in the AFL system. But for him. Guys like George Wardlaw and Will Phillips, younger guys. Do you play them over a Hugh Greenwood, for example? In my opinion, absolutely. Is that going to produce awesome results? Perhaps not, as they grow, as they keep going. So we'll look at it that way. I'm not really that sure. And the last one for the no chance, conclusively no chance, is the Eagles. Don't think this is a Robert Walls in 2018 style call here, but the Eagles, they got some youngsters coming through, but my problem with the Eagles is their quality really falls away after about the top 4, top 5 players. What can Elliot Yeo, Luke Shuey, Tim Kelly do in that midfield? Who knows? Man, I hope we see a lot of Ruben Jinby and Campbell Chesser streaming off halfback, because they're the perfect yin and yang. Chesser's your composed guy off halfback making good decisions, and Jinby is your take the game on, meters gained bull that they can hopefully rotate through the midfield. So, they're my no chances. Simple as that. The teams that their biggest ceiling, so I don't think they're going to go further than week 1 of the finals. We'll start with the Bombers. Now, they definitely, if they're in your no chance, I'm not going to argue with you. I don't think that's incorrect in the slightest, but Brad Scott is, I don't know whether we're underrating or overrating Brad Scott since he's been out of the system, but I implore you to go look at the 2014 and 2015 preliminary final sides that he had for North. Astounding that they got as far as they did. And I have a family connection to one of the players in it, so it's not like I'm speaking out of school here. But the Dons, I think it's going to be another, how long will it be? 365 days is this time next year, plus September, which will be 9 months, which is about 270. So probably another 640 days until the Dons win a final, but that's their ceiling for sure. Let's chuck the Suns in here as well. I think they kind of need to make finals this year, the Suns, which is going to be difficult for them. I don't see them making a preliminary final, which is why I don't really put them in the 4th or 12th category. But, Tuke Miller is going to do what he does. I hope Ben King gets through pre-season well and truly. Now, I know Reddit isn't the greatest source of information, but I've seen a few posts pop up about sources saying Ben King's still going to miss some time. Now, not sure if that's true or not, but they need him fit and firing. They were pretty good last year for the majority of the season without him. Of course, Marvior Chol and Levi Casbolt were fantastic, but they still need to find some players that take the step from could be good to are good. And there's plenty of them there in all lines. So, in terms of star power, they've got a little bit. But in terms of the role players taking a step, that's what's going to take the Suns from a final ceiling to winning finals. So that's what we've got to keep an eye out for, of course. I think that might end this. Oh, no, it won't. St Kilda. Oh, the Saints. It's what's going on. Ross Lyon needs to get the best out of this group. It's as simple as that. Willie, I have no idea. Max King going down does not help at all. I think the first month for the Saints is going to be all about the Saints fans and how they feel. St Kilda are going to be one of the most talked about teams this year because if they start slowly, isn't the media going to go ballistic? But yeah, I can't see them winning a final this year. So final ceiling, making it is the ceiling, and we'll see how they go from there. Thought I had something on me there. Anyway, 4th or 12th, teams that I can't really get a grip on. Now, let's start controversially. The Pies. Yeah, the Pies. Now, Collingwood won something like 10 games by less than 2 goals last year, and that's not a fluke. That's situational football. Winning 3 of them, you might see as a fluke. I remember Hawthorn went through a 3-week period where I think every game was 5 points, and fans, debated about the luck and all that. 10? That's not luck anymore. If someone flipped a coin in front of you, and it came up heads 10 times in a row. While statistically, that is still possible and wildly unlikely, you're always going to think, no, the coin is rigged. So the Pies, it wasn't luck. They did the right thing more times. However, harder fixture. Will the game plan hold up? They still don't have a tall forward. A quality one at that. I'm not convinced on Dan McStay or Billy Frampton. So could the Pies take a step back before they take a step forward? All I'm saying is it's possible. Now, let's go to a couple of teams that I'm not really understanding how they're going to score. Not the Dockers. Sorry, that's on me. Port Adelaide. Port Adelaide scoring woes for mine don't really start with their talls. Georgiades is under the pump, I think, a little bit into how he goes. He's kicked something like 67 goals from 45 games, which is an outstanding return, but he's getting dropped on form, which is not a good thing at all. So for Ken Hinkley, can he create the 2014 dark horse kind of situation here, or are they going to mellow out and Ken Hinkley's going to lose his job? I do see a world where there's both. I am leaning more towards the 12th, but I am really looking forward to seeing the power. But their back line, my goodness, how are they going to stop opposition talls? They haven't really improved their back 6, which is a problem. Hope we see a lot of Josh Sin, though. Not just for Supercoach reasons, but I loved him coming out of his draft year. So, looking forward to seeing how he goes as well. And then, let's go to the Bulldogs. I mean, I haven't finished top 4 with Luke Beveridge as coach. He's just signed a 2-year extension, I should say. So, what's the question? What's the ceiling for the Dogs? Yeah, they absolutely could finish 7th or 8th, go on another run and make a preliminary final. So that would be 4th. They absolutely could take a step back and finish 12th and it be a wasted kind of year. But their spine looks really good. But they're another team where their role players stepping up is where they need to take their next step. Luke Beveridge needs to stop reinventing the wheel, making 12 different centre bounce combinations. Is that really the best thing for your midfield, or is it continuity? Now, with Josh Dunkley and Lockie Hunter not at the club anymore, I firmly believe he's not going to have a better chance than to line up basically with Bontempelli and McRae and whoever the third is it Bailey Smith, Adam Treloar, Tom Liberatore, yada, 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 yada. Could the Bont play a bit more forward this year? It gets talked about every year. I'm not 100% sure. But considering Melbourne won a flag with Petrarca, Oliver and Viney attending basically every centre bounce, why can't the Dogs do the same? And then if someone needs a break, throw a Treloar in there. Throw a Riley West who takes a step up. They've got other options in there. So Is it that? Do you give Cody Waitman a centre bounce or two, see if he can do what Tom Papley does? Who knows? But it can't be overcomplicated at the Bulldogs because they've got young key position players that need to develop. So we'll see how they go. The one big question, yes, the Blues. My one big question for the Blues is, can you get over the fact that you are your own worst enemy? I mean, can they? They're putting all this kind of pressure on themselves. And when Harry McKay went on the couch last year and said that finals isn't the benchmark for us or something along those lines, I knew, and I think a lot of people knew, Carlton were gone because that's not the attitude that you need to have. So the one big question for the Blues in order to win the flag is, can they get over themselves? And again, they're another club that need their role players to step up. They've got probably one of the best top 6, top 8 players in the competition as a grouping. 2 Coleman medalists. They've got a Brownlow medalist. I know Sam Walsh has just had surgery, but he's a star. You got Doherty, Sard, Wiedering, all these guys that have made all Australians in the past. So, what have you got, Carlton? Your one big question is firmly on you. Whereas I look at a team like the Dockers, and their one big question for me is simply, how are you going to score? How are you going to beat teams? With Rory Lobb going, their leading goal kicker this year is going to have to be Matt Taberner, but it's all about, Jai Miss. Can he hit the scoreboard a bit more as a developing player? I love the way he played against the Bulldogs in that final. He was outstanding. Missed from the top of the goal square, and you just thought, oh, he's going to go missing now. The young kid, Paul Bugger. No, wasn't anything like that at all. He was really, really good. So hopefully he can take another step. But I'm talking about, the Michael Walterses of the world, the Sam Switkowskis, these guys that can come along, be medium, small forwards and hit the scoreboard. If they can't do it, they're not winning the flag. It's as simple as that. Their defense is awesome. Sean Darcy and Luke Jackson is a 1-2 combination. Tick, tick. That midfield, extraordinary. But if you can't score, it means nothing. It really doesn't. The Swannies, for mine, the one big question is, can you defy history? You can go back through the history books in the AFL era at least, and if you get smacked in a grand final, you do not recover. You really do not recover. So, can the Swans buck history? Now, with the youth of their squad, you would say yes. But there are a few Swannies that are going to need to take a step up this year. Logan McDonald being one of them, of course. But can the Swannies just buck the trend? It's as simple as that. And I kind of want to put one other team in here, but I'm doing this alphabetically, so I'm not. But in it to win it, they're the last 4 teams. I will order these for the top tier in the order that I think they stand. So the best team in the competition is the Cats. Not only they won the flag as well as they did. Yes, they lost Joel Selwood, I know. But their off-season was insane. And if you don't have the Cats as the number 1 team right here, right now, I'm sorry, you're just wrong. It's as simple as that. Brisbane, a second. You can't have an off-season as good as they did and not have them second. Now, you can have your doubts about Brisbane, whether it's about Fagan, whether it's about their mental toughness, whether it's about their finals record. All those questions are valid. I have the same questions. You also need to understand that they're second right now. I'm sorry. Look at their list. They're the second best team in the competition right now. I am putting Richmond third, and I feel like that's going to get some comments. That's going to get some people riled up, I think. But the Tigers, I mean, their defense is good, both on rebounding, tall defending. Yes, Dylan Grimes is going to have to stay fit for all 22 games. Josh Gibkiss had an outstanding first season, but he's still young and developing. Robbie Tarrant needs to be the third best tall defender they've got. He did get exposed a little bit in the first half of last year. Finished the year quite nicely. By the eye test, I haven't gone and checked stats or anything. So, Richmond fans, if you think that's wrong, let me know below. And, of course, we finish with the Ds. Now, the Demons are the highest-ranked team that I am worried about their scoring. So, they did draft Matty Jefferson, which is great. They've got Jacob Van Rooyen, which is awesome. But Ben Brown, for mine, is an absolute panic. I think Cozzy Pickett's going to have a career best year as well for the Ds to get back there, because I think there's a what's the word that I'm looking for? Anyway, there's a train of thought. Let's just go with that. There's a train of thought that you need to get back to how you're playing in the premiership year for you to win it again. And that's not true. They need to be better than their premiership year. Okay? 2021. And how they're going to do that is their small forwards are going to become more dangerous. They're going to take more contested marks in their forward line. and they're going to need to transition from D50 to forward 50 a little bit better, especially than last year. They got off to such a hot start, it kind of capitulated at the back end, and their transition from D50 to forward 50 was probably the thing that wasn't talked about anywhere near as much as it should have been in terms of where it went wrong for the Ds. But in my opinion, these 4 teams right now are my big contenders. I think Carlton can win the flag. I think Sydney can win the flag. So there's your 6. And Freo, I think, are the next best there from there. But these are in alphabetical order, guys. But these 4 definitely are the ones that I'll definitely say can win the flag. And then, of course, I've got my one big question about the 3 teams below. So what do you think? Comment below. Let me know. Subscribe if you haven't already. I would really appreciate that. Like this video if you liked the video. Let me know what I got right and got wrong in the comment section below. I hope you guys enjoyed the rest of your 2022. I hope you come along for the ride in 2023. I can't wait, but let's get out of here, guys. I'll see you next time.